Hey there everybody, Valgin Stunderegg here again with some more Kingdom Death gameplay for you. Alas, the previous hunt did not go well. The battle was harsh, and while the beast was slain, the only remaining survivor staggered disemboweled back towards the settlement, and then he crawled, and finally he moved no more. Eventually, a group of brave survivors dared the darkness, heading out with their lanterns. They came upon the fallen corpse of Alistair, and following his trail of internal organs, they made it back to the carcass of the great antelope, surrounded by the fallen survivors. There was no time for mourning. It was not safe. They gathered up what they could from the beast and their fallen comrades, and brought the bodies of these brave heroes and heroines back to camp. Now we have a settlement phase. Nobody survived. Well, nobody made it back to camp, alright. So it's going to be a fairly short settlement phase, but hopefully a fun one all the same. You know what? Actually, I better take this over here so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. So, because no one survived, there shall be no endeavours. This will all go fairly quickly. However, everybody died. So, first things first, I've set up all the settlement stuff. I set up the resource cards we got, including ones in storage. Nobody returns. There are no endeavours, so we have a settlement event card. This lovely deck here. I've removed the first day card because that should not repeat. But all the others stay on the deck. Murder. It never lets up, does it? Someone in the settlement has been murdered. The survivor with the highest hunt XP is the victim. So, yeah. People got back safely, and they said, look, what are we going to do? How are we going to survive now? I said, remember that woman on the edge of camp? The crazy one who eats monster guts and smears them all over her face? She's the only one among us with some hunt experience. She should lead the next hunt. Send for her. And they went for her and found her corpse curled up. Oh, great. Brutally murdered by someone who just had had enough of her nonsense. Great, just great. Select the table of settlement that corresponds to your settlement society principle. I don't have one. So, it's just going to be a straight roll. The survivor with the highest insanity was caught in that, so that's nobody, because none of the other survivors have got anything, so I'll make it one of the nameless ones. A man down there. 8. The murderer is heralded as the fiercest warrior in the settlement. Again, +1 permanent strength and +1 courage and understanding, and a skull helm. Oh God, he wears a skull. I'll have to name him now, because he's definitely leading the next hunt. This was a truly unexpected turn of events. So, there's been an uprising. The last of our original survivors has been deposed rather brutally. Add this settlement event to the timeline 1d5 years from now. Oh, God. Right, okay. 3 years. 3, 2. So 3, 4, 5 murder. Just brilliant, that's all we need. Well, the settlement population has dwindled again down to 8. Let's see, let's call him Grettir. That's a good Norse name. Of course, if you know the saga of Grettir the Strong, it's one of the simpler sagas, and less complicated. Why do they all have kind of Scandinavian names so far? They all die, they all go to Valhalla. I sense there can be some kind of ancestor worship deal going on here. But I couldn't say for certain. Right, update the death count. Done that already, 4 people died. Is that even in shot? 4 people died. Yeah, great. Well, hey, because 4 people died, we get to do the Principle of Death event. Can't say I'm looking forward to this, but we might get something good out of it, eh? Okay, the group must decide what to do with the first survivor corpse. So they can consume the corpses of these 4 people in a desire to gain more resources and inherit some of their strength or something. It would just be crazy cannibals. But you know what? I think they're going to be more decent than that. And we've got plenty of resources here anyway. Right? See, plenty of resources. And I think I know what we're going to do with most of them as well. So, but I think we should honour the dead. We should remember their great deeds, and as I said, including the ancestor worship, perhaps. So we get to roll on this table. Settlement decides to build a small monument to mark their loss. It gains the Death Principle. Great card, which I have here prepared, along with the other one. Find and place the card on the settlement board and note it on the settlement record sheet. Now, fortunately, because it's a principle, there's just a box to mark here already. Okay, after adding the card to the settlement, roll 1d10. A 9. Nominate a survivor. You know what? Who have we got named here for the next hunt? We have Gunther, Sigrid, Sven, and Grettir. Let's go with Sigrid. Why not? I mean, with tears in her eyes, she takes a shard of rock from her grave and marks herself with it. Cherished mark forever, gets +1 permanent luck. Okay. Alright, and we get to remove from the settlement. Oh, great, just great. Because she is now... She's with the other 3 original survivors. So we have graves. Now, I don't know how clearly this is going to focus. There we go. So, all new survivors gain +1 understanding. That would be all of them. Brilliant. When a survivor dies during a hunt or showdown, gain +2 endeavours. When a survivor dies during the settlement phase, gain +1 endeavour. So, again, monuments to honour the fallen. So I just place that there as an innovation. Right, update the timeline. That's easy. I just get to tick a box, a reluctant box, and then I can't build anything because I have no endeavours. So I get to make some equipment and then prepare for the next hunt. So, how am I going to make next equipment? Well, here's my thoughts on the matter, right? I need to make some more armour and some more weapons so that these new survivors can head out into the darkness. It looks like my camera's nearing its limit, so I'll be back in a bit. Hey everyone, Baldwin Stondrig here with some more Kingdom Death action for you all. Second half of our rather mournful settlement phase. So, lots of people died. Basically now we don't get to build anything, we just get to make some gear. And so I've got two conclusions, right? Armour is good, weapons are good. We have 2 weapons and 1.5 suits of armour. So let's go over to the skinnery here, because we need to build... What do we need to build? Let's see. 1 full rawhide set, 1 rawhide headband, 1 rawhide vest, 1 set of rawhide boots. So we need the gloves and the pants. So that's going to be 2 bits of hide. So let's use these 2 bits of monster hide here to complete... Sorry, I do beg your pardon. To complete that set of armour. Now, the Caterium, is it all white fur? It's all white fur. Brilliant. So, we lost a bone axe, and that was a big loss, because it was a good weapon, okay? Very, very valuable piece of equipment. I'd love to make the bone pickaxe and bone sickle, but they require leather, which we don't have yet. The organ grinder, fecal sand, lots of grease. Dried acanthus might have some medicinal properties, but I don't know. So anyway, let's replace that bone axe, okay? So that's going to be a bit of bone and an organ. Let's go with the generic one. So now we have 3 weapons. Let's try and get a 4th one. Let's make another bone blade, because this lovely character here can be whatever resource type it wants. So that's a piece of bone. So that's another bone blade, completing the 2nd set of rawhide armour, and a bone axe. And then these remaining resources should probably be saved. Because here's the thing, right? This gear has to last us for the next hunt, but looking at the timeline here, we can see that next year we have our very first nemesis encounter with the butcher. And what that will do is it will interrupt the settlement phase. So we'll go out, we'll hunt a monster, and we'll come back, and just as we're getting settled down to enjoy the settlement phase, right at the draw settlement event, I believe, we will, basically at that point, we will be hit by another showdown phase as a monster walks right into our settlement and begins to murder people, and that's going to go really badly for us. So basically we need to be heavily geared up for this. I would love to have some shields, I'd love to have a bit more armour. Can't make any lion armour. 1 piece of hide there. We might be able to make 1 more piece of rawhide armour, but I'm not sure who it would go to or what it would be. Yeah, it's just bad. Okay, I can't say it another way, but it might be a good thing, you know. We'll see. Right, I'll get these 4 new survivors here ready for the next hunt. So they'll get geared up. That obviously should not be it. So they each get a point of survival for being named. And they each get a point for leaving the settlement. So they'll have 2 survival each, which is fine. That's a survival limit for now. Oh joy. Yeah, I know a couple might get more from their armour, but they won't, because that's the way it is. Right. I think Gratu with his skull helm will have the axe of murder, the new one. Sven and Sigrid will have armour. Sven will have a bone blade. Gunther will have a bone blade. Sigrid will have the daggers. And we'll just have to hope and pray, eh? Okay. Well, I'll say bye-bye for now, and see you all next time.